If you're 58 years old with $1.2 million wondering if you can retire early, this is the video for you. There are instances where I will say, look, I know you want to retire early, but a few more years really is going to help the plan. And I don't want you to retire and go, hey, I misprojected how much I wanted to spend. It turns out I'm a big traveler and that's what I want to do, but it looks like my plan won't support that. But I also don't want you to do what I call goalpost planning, which is where you go, yep, I'm going to retire in 1 year. Yep, one more bonus, one more project, then I'm done. And I'll see people push that back year after year. And then finally, their health isn't in a spot where they can now travel to the degree that they thought. So don't want you to retire too early and don't want you to retire too late. This channel is all about early retirement planning. My name is Ari Taublieb. I'm a certified financial planner and I'm the host of the Early Retirement Podcast. So what I'm going to do in this video is show you a real case study and I'm going to do it right now. So this is the couple that we're going to work through today. John and Jane, they're 58 years old and 50, so a little bit of an age gap there, and a child who's 19 years old. Their total net worth is $1.6 million. Of that, you can see they have a home worth $712,000 and a mortgage of $212,000. Their investments, $1.1 million. Here's what's really interesting about it. Nearly all of it is in their 401k. Now that's interesting because people will say, I have $1 million. Is that anywhere close to retirement? Is that reasonable? The reality is you don't have $1 million. You can go ahead and chalk off anywhere from 10 to 25% of that because taxes are going to take a big hit. And this 401k, this is all pre-tax money. He has a little bit in Roth IRA, which is great, but this is his primary account and it's only invested in 2 stocks. It's in Apple and it's in Microsoft. So the risk is, you can see here, $958,000 is in Apple, $134,000 is in Microsoft. So if those companies don't do well, he'll have a very different retirement, which for most of you, you don't want a few companies to dictate how many surf trips you get to take. For example, my dad's a big surfer. He holds a lot of Monster stock. If I told him to sell it, you know what he would do? He would cry, okay? He would say, oh my gosh, but it's done so well. I don't want to sell it. I'd go, I know. You're a human. You're not a robot. But do you want one company to dictate how many trips you take? And he's like, obviously not. I go, okay, well then where's the sweet spot? Don't just go sell it. Imagine all of that, Microsoft or Apple, was in a brokerage account. There'd be a huge tax bill. This person could go sell Apple or Microsoft and pay no taxes because it's in a 401k. So this is what I love talking about, if you can't tell. This is a really important disclosure because this allows me to make these videos for you guys. So anything that I talk about today, so please read this, but anything that I talk about, I know I just lifted my left finger and it looks like I'm pointing to nowhere, but my right finger is actually even worse. We're going back to the left finger here. You can see here, this is the disclosure. Everything that I make today, this does not create an advisory relationship with our company, Root Financial. And all the comments left on the video, guys, I love the comments. That's, you guys get to go interact and go, hey, I'm actually in that situation. I have $1 million. I want to retire early. Anyone else like me? And you guys will go ahead and comment back and forth. And I love getting to read them. It makes my job really fun. So my request here, as I leave this on the screen while you guys read this, is please go comment below. How old are you? When do you plan on retiring? And what are your assets? Now, I don't need you to, don't go give away your social security number. Don't do crazy stuff. But if you're like, hey, I'm 61, I have 800,000 and I'm planning to retire because I don't want to spend that much. I'd rather stop working. If you're like, hey, I've got 4 million and I really don't plan on retiring because I want to spend 20,000 a month. Anyone here like me? You will get other people commenting on that. So please, let's make this a cool community. I want you to learn from each other. These videos are free. I make them just for you guys to be able to watch them and hopefully gain value from them. And selfishly, I love doing it. So it doesn't feel like a chore in any capacity. These are fun. When I see the comments, it's even more fun. So what I'm going to be going through today is this exact case study. I'm going to show you this software. It is powerful. You can run what-if scenarios to determine when you can retire. And I'm going to start by showing you the following. So I'm going to make myself bigger for just a second. And this, what's behind me on this screen, all of this can be adjusted. So the first thing you're wondering, as I titled the video, can you retire? Should you wait a few more years? Look, if this person said, I want to retire, we first need to understand how much he wants to spend. So you can see here, he's 58 years old, John is. Jane's 50. He is planning to live until 90 and they want to spend $6,000 a month or $72,000 a year. Now, what are the big problems? Well, the big problem, not a problem, that's the wrong word. The big thing that has not been considered properly is healthcare, which I'm going to talk about today. But just to keep it simple, $6,000 a year, that's what $6,000 a month, not a year. That would not be a good retirement. $6,000 a month or $72,000 a year plus $10,000 a year for vacations for at least the first 10 years. We're just going to call it $82,000 a year. That's what John and Jane want to spend so they can enjoy their retirement. So the graph here, this is projecting what their retirement looks like. If he stops working, works one more year, retires at 58, he'll have 1.2 million. And you can see the graph is decreasing. Why? Well, he's no longer adding to it. He's only spending it down. But then why does it start to get more stable? Well, the vacations of $10,000 a year were only for the first 10 years. So that's when he's spending because he has his energy and his health. Then he says he's going to spend less, and then Social Security is helping out. So now Social Security is helping with the majority of his retirement in addition to his assets. Here's my concern with this, and I have a few things that I'm thinking about. The first thing that I'll talk to someone about when it comes to an early retirement, they'll say, what's in your control? What's out of your control? What's in your control is how long you work. What's in your control is how much you spend. Those are the two big ones. What's out of your control is, do markets do well? Do tax brackets change? Does healthcare policy get adjusted? So for him, I would first ask him, hey, do you have specific legacy goals? Like, do you want to leave a certain amount to a child? Because you probably don't want to leave $200,000. In addition, this graph right here, I'll tell someone, hey, this looks good. It's aesthetically pleasing. It looks like you can tell, am I on track? Am I not on track? I would never let someone retire on this graph. The graph I care about, and I'm telling it to you guys in this specific way, because everything that I'm showing today is available to you. If you want to go in for a few $100, you get the software, you get my custom videos, you get to go build your own plan the exact way that I'm doing it with you right now. If you click retirement details, and you toggle this to withdrawal rates, this is important. This is saying how much money are you taking out of your portfolio so that you can, of course, sustain your living needs. And although this graph makes it look like he's okay, the reality is he's taking a lot of money. At age 59, he would have to take 11% of his portfolio to meet his living needs. Then 10%, then 11, then 11, then 12. That's too high. And then all of a sudden in these years, it's still too high, 6%. Withdrawal rate should be in the range of 4 to 5%. So because of that, although this looks like he's okay, it's not giving me enough confidence. So let's say I say, hey, I'm really sorry, but I want you to work 2 more years. Now, I will say on my videos, and you can see the number behind me if you're begging to see the impact right there, $1.3 million. I will say that my job is not to be the nicest advisor. In fact, I'm the meanest advisor. I promise I'm not mean. I'm a very transparent person. I don't want you to retire too early, and I don't want you mad at me when you're 85 with $20 million going, Ari, I told you that was not my goal. And I really do feel like I am close with you guys in that way, and I can be transparent. So please do not take that for rudeness in any way. This makes a big deal. Him working 2 more years, look at this, guys. There's $1.6 million at the end now. We go back to those withdrawal rates. In the future, in the 2-3% range. At the beginning, it's higher than I'd like, 9-10%. That's still not in my comfort zone. So you can see here, well, it creates an interesting issue. The issue is we're on track for retirement long term. Look at this. We're going to be fine. At 98, 1.6 million, no issue there. The risk is, what do we do for the first few years? And this is what makes retirement planning so interesting. This person right here, he's really not up against his retirement. He's up against the first 5 years of his retirement. Because if he gets unlucky here, and I'm going to show you this, and these first 5 years, when he's spending, enjoying his retirement, imagine he has to take out 10% of his portfolio while markets are going down. Well, that 1.2 million, boom, we've got to take 120,000 of that out because you've got to go live your life, but markets are also down. It's taking a bigger impact, and so now all of a sudden, there's going to be way less left over. So what's my concern? We didn't really account for healthcare. What if that's another $12,000 a year? Very well could be. How does that impact the plan? Makes a big difference. $400,000 fewer dollars. What if we didn't talk about weddings for the child? We didn't talk about new cars. We didn't talk about home remodels. We didn't also talk about part-time income or inheritance. So what if he goes, hey, I'm going to do something. I don't know what it is, but what if I bring in $50,000 a year for the first few years? Like, does that even really help? Well, let's see. It helps in a big way. Why does it help in such a big way? It helps in such a big way because $50,000 a year, I'm going to make myself really big to emphasize this point. $50,000 a year. Some people will say the following. What good is that? Ari, I made $150,000. I made $200,000. I made $500,000. Is $50,000 a year going to make an impact? I said, you're thinking about it wrong. Not your fault, but you're thinking about it wrong. And no one likes being wrong. So I said, let me give it to you. Ready? He goes, okay. I said, if you bring in $50,000 a year, you might think it just doesn't make a big deal. And I wouldn't blame you, except you have $1 million portfolio. So if you want to spend $5,000 a month to keep it simple, or $60,000 a year, I need to send you $60,000 from your $1 million so you can go live. Following? And they go, yep, sounds good. I said, okay. Here's the beauty. If you want to spend $60,000 a year, but you do part-time income that brings in $50,000, I now only need to send you $10,000 because $50,000 comes from your part-time work, $60,000 is coming in from your portfolio traditionally, but you don't need all that 60. You need $60,000 to live. So I need to send you $10,000 because you already have 50 coming in. And they go, yeah, I get that. I go, good. So now here's the value. The value is I didn't just pull 50,000, which means your portfolio of $1 million, that gets to keep compounding faster. I'm not interrupting that because if markets go up 10% and I was pulling from it, it wouldn't grow nearly as quickly. I don't want to tap into that principle as much as possible so that it can keep growing. And ideally, this is why people say, if possible, can we live off of interest or dividends? The truth is you can still tap into principal. That's not an issue. But what we want to do is optimize that. So to show you this further, in this case, I would want this person to go add on weddings and new cars and remodels. This is not including any inheritance. This is not including, what if this person wants to go downsize? I mean, you could go in here and model out hey, we're going to relocate and we're going to have no mortgage. This person might decide they want to work a little longer because they want to pay off the mortgage. But what I don't want them to do, and I see this, is where people go, yeah, I'm just going to keep working. I mean, my friends aren't retired yet. And so what am I going to do? And they're sacrificing their health along the way and they're making up excuses. And I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just being honest. Here's what I hear a lot of. My mortgage isn't paid off, so I really shouldn't retire. Guys, that is you cheating yourself. That is not the reason to not retire early. I have plenty of clients that retire with a mortgage because it's the optimally savvy thing to do. Don't go take $200,000, pay a ton in taxes to pay off your mortgage just so you sleep better at night. Now, sometimes I'll tell a couple the opposite. I'll say, I can tell there's no way you're going to be comfortable retiring unless you've got that mortgage paid off. I can feel it. And they go, you're right. And I'll go, that means we can either pay it off now and pay X amount in taxes, or you can work 5 more years. What would you prefer? I'm giving them the choice. It's not my job to tell anyone what to do. It's my job to quantify a trade-off so you can make the decision that's right for you. So in this case, I would want this person to really explore, okay, is that too much to leave behind? $2 million to a child? Would they rather spend more? What if we up their vacations to $15,000 a year from 10 to 15? Okay, wow, there's less, but there's still 1.7, and maybe they just got 3 more trips they really enjoyed. I want this to connect to everything. So Social Security, it makes a big deal. Do we collect at age 70? Should we collect at full retirement age? Wow, that looks like it makes a bigger difference. Once again, important disclosure here. This might not apply to your situation. It's not necessarily representative of the experience of all of our clients here. Please, these past rates of return, these are assumptions. Please, please, please be smart about this. Don't go actually execute anything without working with a professional who, once again, does this for a living. Medicare, making sure you've got the coverage dialed in. You understand enrollment timing. You're not missing. These are just common facts that people forget about. So oftentimes people will go, I have a group retiree benefit, or I have COBRA. You still need Medicare. People will go, I enrolled in Medicare. That means you cannot contribute to an HSA. People will say, I enrolled in Medicare Advantage. The truth is you don't need a Medigap policy. What's your total healthcare costs? It varies by plan, but premium plus out-of-pocket, I mean, it could be $5,000 to $8,000 a year. It really does depend. And so what I would encourage you to do is use a software like this or work with an advisor, and I'll talk about when it makes sense and when it doesn't. Because for our clients, we're modeling out tax returns for years that don't even exist yet. We're going, in 2035, what will your tax return look like? Because this line is wages. Wages is 0. They're no longer working. What's this taxable amount? Or we're going to have to live off of something. We're going to have to sell some of that Apple or Microsoft so that you can live. What about Social Security? Looks like there's going to be $54,000. But what will that be worth in 2041? Well, that'll be $62,000. What if we want to go in and get more creative? What if we want to actually determine, when does it make sense? Should we be doing Roth conversions? Do they not make sense? Which bracket do we fill up? We get to get really strategic here. And I have many videos going on Roth conversions, when they add value, when they don't. But sometimes they make a big deal. And that's why I talk about them a lot. Sometimes I'll tell someone, hey, you can do them if you'd like, but to be honest, they might not make a ton of sense for you. And they'll go, what do you mean? I'll go, well, it would actually be better to do nothing at all, because Roth conversions don't make sense. So I want you to get really strategic, use a tool, work with an advisor, have the right estate plan. Do you or your spouse, mainly your spouse, because you're watching this video because you probably like this stuff to some extent, or you just want to get everything in order, does your spouse know where to go to find everything? Executor, guardian, when was that document updated? Go easily put in here. We updated it last week. Boom. Make it really nice and easy. Have all your documents in one spot. Beneficiaries, are they listed on every account? And then do an analysis and go, okay, how much is too much to leave behind? So you can see between assets and heirs, this couple, they have a net worth of, by the time they pass, it could be about $5-6 million bucks. Is that the goal? Is that the goal, to die with $6-7 million? Maybe it is. I don't know. It depends. Everyone's different. So want to make sure you guys are aware. Obviously, I'm just scratching the surface here. Now here at Root, we have a minimum today of $2 million. Is that my dream? No, I did not enter this industry to only help people who at least have $2 million. But the reality is revenue drives possibilities. And right now we have a certain amount of team members. We're nearing about 50 team members. I want to increase the amount of team members we have so we can help more people just like you. But today, this is the current structure. So if you would like, in the description below, there's a link. You can click that link and it's going to point you to something like this. I'm going to do it with you right now. So it'll be on this website. You'll see this link come up and it will say, welcome. It's time to optimize your money. Now, it might look a little different by the time you get here, but you can see if you go through here, you put your name in here, and you say, hey, where did I find you? Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, wherever. You're going to see very clearly, what do we do at Root? Well, we don't get paid through any commissions or kickbacks or any other revenue source. There's no fee for tax or estate planning. We do holistic planning for those who want to enjoy their retirement, and we partner alongside our clients to help them make the best decisions. So some of you are going, I'm looking for ongoing management. Beautiful. Some of you go, hey, I just kind of need a one-time plan. Well, you can go pay an advisor for a one-time plan. Many of you have told me this is equally, if not more effective. So I would start here. For a few $100, you go run your own scenario, see what you're on track for. You might then go, I still want help. I don't want to do this. I don't want to mess up. There's a lot of numbers. This isn't my thing. Totally cool. You can see if you say, for example, that you want an advisor and you have $1 million, for example, it's going to say, hey, thank you. We currently have a minimum today. We hope to expand the amount of people we serve. In the meantime, though, we have a few firms that offer similar philosophy who can assist you. You could click this link. These are advisors I know personally who do the same type of planning we do. It's just not, of course, Root. And you can click schedule a call. Alternatively, once again, you can build your own software with what I showed you in today's video. So I hope that this was helpful. I want to make sure that you guys are taking action. I believe it makes sense to work with an advisor when you go, hey, I'm not sleeping well at night. There's a level of complexity here. It feels beyond me. I want to make sure I'm not missing anything. And I want to partner with someone who's not going to just tell me what to do. They're going to actually be a true partner and help me understand when is the right time to retire. When is it that I should switch my traditional 401k to Roth? How should I do that? What about healthcare? That's when it makes sense to work with an advisor. If you're in your 40s or 50s going, hey, I don't really know, I'm planning on retiring in, let's say, 5 years or 10 years, it might not make sense to work with an advisor yet. Maybe all your money's in a 401k, and what you need to do is open a superhero account, which is what I call a brokerage account, start putting more money there. Oftentimes, that's advice that you can get in a one-time meeting. So you might want to pay someone on a one-off basis. Once again, I don't offer that today. I only believe in ongoing holistic planning, but everyone's different, and I recognize you all have different needs, so I'm trying to help everyone. I have this super low-cost option. Go build your own plan. I refer you if you're like, hey, I want a one-time plan, but I don't necessarily need someone to manage my money. And then, of course, when it comes time to actually going, hey, I'm going to retire early, it's coming up, I now want to delegate this so that I don't fully have to be involved, but I want to have a partnership. That's where we do our best work. So that's what I want to show you in this video. If there's any other questions about how Root works and what we do, if you go to our website here, rootfinancial.com, you can actually click under Resources, FAQ. And this is where you can see the most common questions that we're asked. You can see a 30-second overview. Here's how it works. Who do we typically work with? Do I have enough money to become a client? Where will my money be? How does transferring money occur? We want to make it really clear. What are the fees? How do we actually justify the fee? You can see these are videos of me. These are not public videos, so you have to be on this website to actually see them. But that's it for this video. I know that was a lot, guys. I hope that was helpful. If it is, please like this video, share it, comment with others. This makes it more fun, and it's a really cool community we have here. So thanks for letting me make these videos, and see you next time.